And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster and I'm here with the wonderful Chris Edwards. He's back.
Boom, 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 boom. I am back. I'm back in town. I was
He's
I was out on work assignment yesterday.
Yes, you were. Yes, you were. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to turn on my light. Oh, there we go. It's a little brighter now. We can see.
There you go.
I was like, wait a minute.
Now we can see your gorgeous face.
So what's going on, Chris? How are you, my friend?
I'm good. We're finally unpacked. Office is basically done. I just actually, as you know, right before we went on, I had to run downstairs to go get a delivery. The other half of the panels came in so I can finish the other half of the wall. And then we're a little bit of decorations, and we're done with this office. But I'm up and running. Love the new space. It's been 2 weeks already today since we moved in here.
Wow.
It's crazy.
It is
but loving
amazing.
it. Loving it.
Moving is no joke.
It's not. It's funny. All the
is that since Trump took office, I have to tell you, a lot of my friends are in transition. They're moving, they're leaving jobs, they're changing, they're building, they're leaving, they're going overseas. My friends are they are making major moves, and it's quite interesting to see it.
Well, it's funny you said that. One of my biggest concerns after he came to office was like, will we be able to move in time before all the craziness started? Because we've talked on here like he wants to institute martial law and all these other things. Like that would impact us, like being able to move freely, to do the things we need to do. So my concern was, all right, we know we have a set time. Will we be able to move with no problems whatsoever? And I'm just kind of glad we were able to do that. So if anything goes down, at least I feel comfortable that we're in the space that we want to be in, and where we have everything we need around us that we can just kind of walk to. We don't have to drive anywhere. We can literally walk to everything. So, which is really, really a good thing. So, but yeah, everybody is in transition right now because people are not sure what's going to happen day to day.
Yeah, I talked to a lot of my friends, and I've been watching. They've gotten new jobs. One of my friends, he is working on his citizenship and getting his passport for Ghana. I just learned this week that Tina Faso is going to be also offering to the rest of the world passports and citizenship for Americans. So I'm like, whoa! Look, I'm about to get passports everywhere. I'd be like this. I am there. But it's just
but here's the thing: the concern is now coming back into the States. It's not so much leaving; it's coming back. I
talked to my buddy yesterday. I wished him happy birthday. Stefan, who the security company that he sold to Microsoft. I think it's Microsoft. He sold it to Microsoft. So we were talking yesterday because it was his birthday yesterday. So I said, hey, so I called him his birthday. And we were talking, and he says, "You're doing it. You're doing it." He's like, we were talking about the house, and because he moved to Mexico City.
Oh, okay.
So he left. I mean, he still has a home, his apartment in New York, but he also has a home in Mexico City. So he was like, I'm out of. I mean, he made that decision last year. So he just kind of like. And so he just bought a house a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a couple of months ago. And so he was like, "You're coming to visit?" I said, "You know what? In between that I have to do it." I said, "Look, I get to stay in your beautiful mansion somewhere in Mexico City." And I've never been to Mexico. Yeah. I mean, I've been to parts of Mexico, but I've never been to Mexico City. I heard Mexico City is beautiful. And
I've heard that.
I told him. I said, I will be coming to visit. And but what's great about that is, again, I am watching all of my friends, not all of them, but a lot of my friends reevaluate their lives. They're reevaluating their jobs. Some of my friends have now just changed jobs. One of my buddies, two of my buddies just retired. They just left the jobs all together. So I mean, I will say 2025 will go down in myself and my peers transition. How many of my question to the community is how many are feeling the transition? How many people? Your question? What's that? To shout your question. You are a senator, right? What happened there?
You got something playing in the background?
Just you out of control because what happened? Where is that coming from? Couldn't compose yourself.
Do you have an open tab? Do you have a tab open on your computer?
I don't know where.
Like Safari or Chrome. If you have a tab that has audio playing, that's where it's coming from.
A technical crazy.
A lot of technical difficulties is avoided. Speaking of technical difficulties, I don't know if you know, but your show from yesterday was blocked on your page.
I heard.
Yeah, Paramount put in a claim because I think you were playing a CBS station in the show. Yeah, so
I did adjust it.
Yeah, it didn't get taken down on Dr. Tachi's show, but on your page it did.
Yeah, it did.
So I went to go watch it. Yes, I went to go watch it last night. I'm like, wait, why is it blocked?
It should be back up now though, because I did the trim
edit?
As they call it, the edits.
Okay.
But but yeah, I mean, how many people? First of all, did we say good morning to anybody?
No, let's go. Let's roll it back.
I was so excited about seeing you, Chris. That's how this is what we do when we just hang out. So we just I really forgot about all y'all. I mean, I knew you guys were here, but we were all here talking.
We didn't get a chance to really talk about all the technical difficulties beforehand.
Exactly. Hannah says, "Good morning, Ron and Chris and Touch Base Daily family." Brian says, "Happy Friday, fam." Anthony says, "Good morning, Ron. Good morning from Puerto Rico."
Puerto Rico.
Love Puerto Rico.
Love Puerto Rico.
Make sure you hang out in Old San Juan and get all those
great pictures.
It is Old San Juan is best. I think it's my favorite.
And travel within the country itself. They have some great waterfalls. I've done those as well.
I did the white waterfalls. I did it all. Love
Puerto Rico. Great beaches.
Says, "Good morning, beautiful people." Jazzy also says, "I'm loving the setup, Chris. I'm loving."
Wait till it's finished. Wait till it's finished. Thanks, Jazzy.
Kelly says, "Good morning, everyone." Elise says, "Good morning, everyone." And there's that wonderful Lisa. She says, "Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday and stay stay cool." She says, "Stay cool," but it's cooler in New York today, which is great. It is 10 to 15 degrees cooler.
Not here.
So happy. Oh yeah, we got some cool weather here. I'm happy because yesterday I was miserable.
I was in Philly yesterday. It was 90 degrees, and it's 88 here. I think 88 is going to be the high again today here.
It got to 89 yesterday in New York, and it was humid.
It was humid.
It was, and then I had a photo shoot in the evening, so I had to commute. I was like, but at least I'll talk about that in a little bit. But the place I photographed yesterday.
Was it nice?
It was beautiful.
I love a good background.
It was a beautiful gallery in Gramercy Park.
Oh.
It's called the Art Something Club. And I'd never been in. I walked by 1,000 times and never walked in. And it has all of these amazing pieces of art.
Interesting.
It was like, oh wow. I mean, very expensive art, may I say. But it's Gramercy Park. And I don't know if you guys know about Gramercy Park in New York City. Gramercy Park is a community within New York City. Everyone that lives around Gramercy Park has a special key
to get into the park. Yep.
And you can only go into Gramercy Park if you live
resident
in Gramercy Park, and you also are owner and you have a key
or a friend of someone.
Yeah, it's really. Gramercy Park is also all these beautiful homes surround Gramercy Park, and the
Very expensive.
numbering of the houses are different from the rest of the city around it. So, for instance, even though you may be going down, I think it's 19th Street or 20th Street, one of those streets, it doesn't have the same number sequence as the whole number system going across that avenue. But in Gramercy Park, the houses are numbered around the park. So it's like 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way around to like, I think it's like 35 or 40. And anyway, it's one of the most beautiful parts of New York City.
It is. And it's been photographed and lots of films and TV shows. Sex and the City did a whole thing on Gramercy Park back in the day. Yeah.
A bunch of movies. So it's a beautiful place. It is old money, considered old money in a lot of cases. People that have lived there for generations, and
they pass those houses down. It's very hard to buy a piece of property over there.
Yeah, you can't. And most people, it is very rare that you will buy a piece of property in Gramercy Park. Those properties are passed down to the grandkids, to the great grandkids. It keeps going on. But it is such a beautiful part of New York, and they have these old clubs like that. This is the art. I forgot what it's called, the Art Something Club. And then you go straight down on another block, on the same block. Then there's this very high-end club where people gather. It's like a social club and environment. So anyway, Gramercy Park is amazing. And so this, the shout out to the Bronx Ensemble, Bronx Art Ensemble. They had an event there last night, and I was hired to photograph the event. And it was absolutely wonderful, supporting the art. And so I got to meet the director, and I got to meet the board, and they all were like, "Oh my gosh, we like, we clicked. It's great when you click with your clients." Mm-hmm. And so I'm sure I'll be doing more photos for them in the future. And then the congressman was there, so I got to meet the congressman for that area. And it was like his assistant handed me the card and said, "Could you please send us some pictures?" So I'll do that today. But it was a great night out. The food was wonderful, and the people were wonderful, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot about the Bronx. And it was wonderful that the Bronx Art Ensemble had their event at this particular place. Like I said, I'll get that information. I'll put the information in the chat when I don't have my Google up because I've been all over the place. But anyway, let's say some more people. Bryson says, "What's up, Ron? What's up, Chris? What's up, RLP fam? What's up, everybody? Happy Friday the 13th. It is Friday the 13th, y'all. Maybe that's why things are going crazy there. There you go. That's that one, right? AKA Jason Day. Happy How to Train Your Dragon Day, and welcome to the weekend. It's already the weekend, Chris.
It is. And now that it's the weekend, I need to go see the last Mission Impossible. We couldn't go see it because we moved, and then last year was just we just couldn't do it. So I think I want to do that tomorrow, actually. And it's probably out of IMAX now, right? Because only 10 days is in IMAX.
Yeah, well, no, it's only 10 days, 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks, 14 days. So IMAX for 14.
Yeah, so it might be gone today. Yeah, it might be gone today.
So that's a good question, Lisa. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look it up because I'm curious. How many?
I don't know how many you can have. Because I know like
as many as you want, but I'm going to verify.
Yes, I know. Like some people, I think I've known people that have at least 3 passports. Because some countries you don't have to surrender your old passport for the other country. And I know my dad and a few of my family members, they have 2. They have their Jamaica passport and they have their U.S. passport. I should go get my Jamaica passport.
Here it is. As an American, you can have multiple passports, including more than one U.S. passport. You can also be a citizen of multiple countries, meaning you can hold passports from other countries in addition to the U.S. to your U.S. passport, according to the Travel and Leisure.
Why would you need more than one U.S. passport?
Well, you can have. Here's a more detailed explanation. Multiple U.S. passports, while you can have more than one U.S. passport, they will all contain the same personal information and be valid for a limited time, typically 10 years. However, you can have also dual citizenships. Many countries allow dual and multiple citizenship, meaning you can be a citizen of both the U.S. and another country.
Right.
Benefits of multiple passports. Having multiple passports can be beneficial for travel, visa requirements, and accessing different countries' resources and opportunities. And last but not least, specific cases for second passport books. In specific circumstances like those involving travel restrictions, ongoing visa needs, or urgent travel, you may be eligible to apply for a second passport book with the same personal information as your existing passport.
Well, I can see if your original passport book is filled and you need the other book because you need to have places to stamp. Like that can make sense to me, maybe. But the dual like having two U.S. passports really doesn't. I don't know. I don't see where that makes any sense.
There must be a reason why, because you can do it. So, but that's the question. That was a good question.
Great question, Lisa.
Great question. And so that's why I'm gonna get as many passports as I can. I'm gonna start going from country to country.
Well,
there is one passport that I am definitely going to get.
Ghana.
So I should say two.
Okay, what's the other one?
And Spain.
Oh, okay.
Because when you get a Spain passport, it opens you up. It's the easiest of all the European unions to get their passport, and it opens you up to have access to the whole European Union.
Yeah, I was going to say that if you get a European passport, then you don't have to worry about having to get a visa. That prevents that whole trigger of things that are going on right now too with visas in other countries because of U.S. policies.
So I'm definitely thinking about Spain, and I'm definitely
start that process now because you don't know how long it's going to take, or even because of the fact that you're American, they might be looking at you sideways and be like,
"Hello." I mean, not many people want Americans, but not the world. The world's a different place
every week.
Yeah. So but I am going to begin the process. As a matter of fact, I just talked to my other friend who is getting his Ghana passport and citizenship, and so he has been a part of an organization for 2 years trying to get this process done, and just trying to connect. It's a whole community, and I said to him, 2 days ago, I said, "Can I join the community?" He said, "I'll try to get you in the community." Look. I am going to use all my resources.
Why not?
It's a different world. It's a different world.
Ooh,
where you
come from. Yes.
Okay. I see here 3 days in a row. It sounds like a Stephen A. Good morning. Charlene says good morning, y'all. Charlene says good morning. And if you're in the building, please hit the likes. And Kelly says good morning to Hannah, and Janet is in the building. Greetings all. And A is in the building. She says Grand Rising Friday, Ron, Chris, and everyone. Happy Father's Day weekend to all the father figures. Hey, let me be your father figure. But no, sorry. So how many of you guys are celebrating Father's Day this weekend? Come on, y'all. Yeah, are you celebrating? Are you coming to New York?
No, I'm not gonna be up in New York, but I'm gonna make sure that I speak to my father. I mean, we speak all the time, so it's not a big deal. But I don't know if they're planning to do anything this weekend. And then they're supposed to be coming down here in a couple of weeks anyway.
Okay. Okay. Any of you guys? Oh, thank you, Janet. It's called the National Arts Club.
Oh, that's the name of the place in Gramercy
Park. That's where I was last
night. Janet would know, definitely.
Janet knows everything. Janet knows where all the elite hang out.
Yes.
Janet is one of New York's elite. Let's see here. And she's gonna hate me for saying that. But thank you.
There's nothing wrong with it.
She knows she is sophisticated and classy. Bryson says, so Chris, you watched BET Awards on Monday?
So here's the thing. We didn't watch it live, but we actually we skimmed through most of it last night after dinner. And we wanted to watch certain performances like Tiana Taylor, amazing. She made her musical comeback, and the visuals that she did on stage were just breathtaking. Who else? Watched B2K reunite on stage.
Yeah, because didn't two of them go to the military? They had to serve in Korea or something.
No, I don't think so. They all kind of went and did their own thing.
Oh, okay.
Some of them had some controversy. Some went on to do really big with their careers, like Omarion. But they all reunited on the stage. It wasn't a bad show. Here's the thing. I will say it was a lot better than what I had watched maybe about a decade ago. Because I had just kind of sworn off BET Awards because it just got real.
It wasn't the BET Awards. I haven't looked at the BET
Awards. It was actually really good. Kevin Hart was funny. A lot of the bits that they had on there were really good. And, who was it? Tyler Perry said something about, the Oscars are great. Was it Tyler Perry? One of them. I forget who it was that said, but they were like, the Oscars are really great, but it really is about, the BET Awards is about the culture and us celebrating us. And it really did feel like that this time around.
They're gonna take my black card away because in my head I'm thinking B2K is a black group, and I was thinking about the Korean group.
What Korean? No, not that group. Yes, B2K.
What they call the other group was anyway, and so I'm gonna get my black card snatched away. Oh my gosh, I am going to get my black card snatched and ripped apart. Anyway. I'll hang out in the history. I'll just hang out with Black history, Black culture.
Who's? I'm not Kim and Kim. Yeah, a lot more Black entertainers did show up for this show. It was well represented, and it was a good show. I have to say, I enjoyed it.
Kimmy says on the BET, more A-list entertainers are now showing up.
Yeah. You saw a convergence of Hollywood and the music industry really showing up for that show.
Lisa says, my daddy and hubby are angels, so no. We are. My condolences. I know Father's Day, Mother's Day, Christmas.
Holidays in general.
Holidays when you lost your parents is tough.
Yeah.
Jazzy is laughing at me. She is having because Gwendolyn and I have this ongoing. Ron, I'm taking away your black card. So Bryson has something else there. Do you say something about that? We said that's something we talked about that Bryson yesterday. Jazzy says black A-listers should always show up to the BET Awards, says Jazzy. And Kimmy also says with the hands and the dove. So here we are. So there's a lot to talk about, but there is two things I want to talk about. Focus on today's Focus Friday for those that are here for the first time. It is our Focus Friday. We focus on accounts and things that are going on that are important, that inform, encourage, and inspire us. And A is also saying she has a heavy Father's Day to my dad. And I am blessed. I am lucky. I still have both of my parents. So I feel very blessed. And okay, let's see here. Oh, Anthony says, thanks everyone. It's my first trip to PR. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers and father figures.
Enjoy it. You're going to love it.
Yes. And
Puerto Rico is so beautiful.
He also said, it is good to have multiple passports. You never know when you have to make a move. And this is, like I told you guys, my Jewish boss and friends, when I was first started at the stock exchange, One of the guys pulled me over when I was like 20 years old. I think I was like 21, maybe 20 years old. And he says, you have to get a multiple passports. You need to get your dual citizenships. And I was like, and it was so foreign to me. So it was just like, why? Like, why? And but he was talking to me because he was talking in regard to he and his brother, because his parents fled Nazi Germany. And he says they are raised when they're children, they are raised to think about having money in different places. They learn about money very early in life, and they learn to have money in different countries. For instance, speaking like with Stefan yesterday, I talked to Stefan, and Stefan was like, "Oh, I don't have any." He said, "I only have a couple of $1,000 in American money in the banks." He go, "All my money's offshore." I said, "Oh, so you're gonna have to teach me how to put my money offshore." He said, "Because America cannot be trusted."
No, it's true, and especially if that's why it's good to have dual citizenship. Because I have friends that still have their citizenship and their passport for Jamaica, and they have bank accounts in Jamaica, and every pay period they send money back to that account as well. So that if they do need to leave, or sometimes a lot of Jamaicans, even though they've lived here their entire life, they don't want to live here during their retirement years. They want to go back home, and they have money set up, and it's just in their growing interest because they're not there touching it.
Yeah. Also, for instance, in Namibia, I don't know what the exact interest rates are today. I can always Google that up because Google is my friend. But a lot of countries, not like America. America has one of the lowest interest rates in bank savings. So, but
That sounds about right.
if you go to other countries, you get like 12%, 13%, 14% or interest on your money. So that's why a lot of people that have money will then have bank accounts outside of the country because they get more money. They get more money. They get more interest on their money.
Sure.
Yeah. So I think the Namibian, for instance, that's where I'll be.
It's so crazy because they charge you so many fees to have these accounts. They use your money to fund other projects. But then when it's time for you to get paid on the money that you use for them to invest to do things for them, you get little on your return on your investment.
For savings. I'm always looking up stuff. So I'm that nerd. Okay, so in Namibia, it's it have a grading, but you can get up to 7.7% on your money.
That's actually really good.
That's very good. America, no good in America, but 7.7% is very good.
No bueno.
For the NAB Bank Namibia, and so if you have the money and you can do it, and I will suggest do it. So that is the reason why my buddy he owns his own company. He is the one that said, "Hey," he said, "Ron, I only have." He gave me the number, the amount of money here in the United States. He said, all my wealth is outside of the country. I was like, really? I said, my biggest dilemma is like, I need to get my money out of this country so that way, if I can't come back, I can still live.
Yeah.
I can still live everywhere else in the world. So that is something I am working on right now. I am looking for an international financial advisor. So I mentioned to him that yesterday. I said, I need an international financial advisor. So that way I will know what to do with my money. Janet says, banks make money on your unused balances in checking accounts. Yes. Jazzy says, wow. Kimmy says, that part. Interest sounds good, though. Yes. America, it's always going to sound like I'm bashing America. I love America. I love my friends.
But it has its shortcomings.
However, American society is not for its citizens. It does not help its people. They do not care about your health. They do not care about your finance. They do not care about your wealth. They do not care about anything. You are a means to rich people becoming richer.
Yeah.
You are just a piece
It's
of a puzzle.
unfortunate, but it's true. It's so true.
And that's just the way it is. And I talked to another friend, and she was like, Ron, she said, if I didn't have my two daughters, I would be on a plane and leaving this country immediately. But I have two daughters, and I said, I've been trying to tell my daughters to prepare, but they're in they're teenagers, and they're young adults in their 20s, and they have no concept that things could go very bad in America. They're so used to having and having and having. And
right.
we learned, our generation has learned, because our grandparents did tell us how bad it was in America during the Depression, during World War II, during the Vietnam War, during the Korean War. So we come from a different generation, but the kids today don't have any reference.
Well, not even that. All the people that are graduating from college now, they don't have that job. They will never ever have that job security that we felt, or even our parents felt when they left college. Well, I mean, I remember like when I graduated, I had a job even before I left school, because I started that job when I was in like my second year. But there was I always felt a sense of job security until I got laid off in 2007. But it was 13 years that I had worked there. So I mean, there was still a sense of job security. Now you can go in there and work at a job for 6 months and be like, oh no, well, we're laying you off. No one has job security anymore.
I've been laid off 3 times in my life.
Twice for me.
So our generation never saw you can find a company and work 25, 30 years. That's not our generation.
No.
Yeah.
It's different. But go
ahead. You finish your thought before I go to
No, I was just going to say that, a lot of times also, though, too, this generation, they don't look to stay at a job for that long. 6 months to a year, they get the experience that they want and they move on to the next thing. Or, to be honest with you, a lot of them just like, they're not interested in corporate America. They want to be influencers and do YouTube, and like that is where they make, and people are making good money doing that stuff.
Good money in social media. There's a lot of there's a lot of folks making good money. Jazzy says, I think it's more that saying that is one thing, but having the resources is a whole other conversation. And this is true. Most people cannot leave their country, and that's around the globe. I don't care where you are. Most people do not leave their country.
Yeah.
I mean, Europeans more likely to go to place to place, but most Americans do not travel outside of their own state. And
please, out their own city or neighborhood.
My mother, I used to tease my mother all the time. My mother we lived on Fulton Street, right? Fulton, between Washington and St. James, right in the heart of that time. It was like chaos of Bed-Stuy, Fort Greene. And my mother could not tell you what was 3 blocks away. I was like, I'm going down to Cambridge Street, Cambridge Place. And she'll go, where's Cambridge? I said, it's about 3 blocks down. But most people don't know beyond going from their house to the subway,
to the supermarket,
and or from the house to the supermarket, from the house to wherever, So, and most people will not have the resources to leave a country.
Yeah,
and that's just the reality of it all. And but we need to also start. I mean, the resources are not there. But if you can, I remember my buddy, his father used to say, you must have your FU account. And he used the colorful metaphors. And so every young person should be taught to have an FU account. And when my buddy was in his teenage years, even before he was a teenager, I think he was in his preteen years, his father set him up with an FU account. And when he told me this, it was the first time I had ever heard of it. I never heard of an FU account. Then I finally talked about it. Then I heard other people talk about it. But he was like, yeah. He said, I accumulated enough wealth in that FU account. Just put in $5, $50, $10, $30, $20 from my preteen years. My allowances. My parents made sure I put my allowances in my FU account. And he said when he got his first job working for a big corporation and they started to act up, he had enough money in his account to live off for 3 years. And he said, so he for the first time, he had to use his FU account. And he looked at his boss and said, F you, I'm not doing this, and I'm out of here.
Well, here's the thing. When I got laid off the first time during the big recession in 2008, I got laid off in 2009. I lived off of money I had saved for, was it 2 years? 2.5 years. I didn't work. And honestly, I felt more financially stable then when I wasn't working than I am now. It's kind of crazy because I had money put aside. But yeah, it's really important. It's really, really important. So I believe in that FU account.
I believe in it. Now, ever since my buddy told me about it, I put money. Let me tell you, I started late. I started real late, but you, if you can put it, and it's hard. It's hard. Like I used to get up, especially when you don't have the funds, and you live from paycheck to paycheck. You live from client to client. However you get paid, it is hard to hear people say, "Put money away." Money away. Because you almost like, how do I put money away? And but I remember, even though I didn't have the money to put away, I put it away. I put $50 here every paycheck, even though it could have gone to a bill, could have gone to this or could do that, and then that's how I was able to start my business. I just put $50 away. Just kept trying to do it, and I had credit card debt and I had other stuff, but I made sure $50 went into that little savings account, and I was able to get my business, my LLC. Janet says, in the South Bronx, most parents never go outside their hood, and it was my generation that moved beyond our areas. Yes, and Janet has always been on the move. Mimi says, they do not, Chris. My generation had government, Fed, state, local jobs. I have worked in corporate for the last 25 plus years and laid off a few times. So I work, consult, and job stack. Nice, Mimi. And Mimi says, you got to do what you gotta.
That part.
Wow. Okay. Oh, this was a good conversation, right? That's a good one. So remember I talked about it yesterday, and well, this morning we woke up to it. Israel attacks Iran. And guys, this
could be the beginning.
If you have, I know you probably say, oh, it's just overseas, it's Iran, it's Iraq, it's just another war.
Everything's interconnected.
These are all connected. And this is what happens when you don't have world leadership. I should say, when you don't have U.S. leadership to help navigate the rest of the world. And when America does not have the leadership it is supposed to have, then people feel like they have to take things into their own hands. Now, whether Netanyahu is, he got a lot going on. He's
dangerous.
He's a dangerous person. He got charges being brought up on him in Israel. And this could be a dog, wag the dog as well. But they felt the urgency of getting rid of these potential nuclear weapons that may be happening. So what does that mean to us? And I will tell you that we have to really, again, if it's not one more, it's like everything is, it's like every day there's something.
Yep.
It's every day.
Every day. Like these are things, every few months or a few years we see something like this happen. Well, this is literally every day something is happening every day.
Every day. And so, but again, I know when people are not making money and people don't have the money, people don't have the funds. We have to prepare for the future some way. Many times I will mention, and to this day I will continue to say it. You may not have all the money in the world to do it, but you can do a little at a time, and a little at a time will help in the long run. And like when you go grocery shopping, buy extra can of beans, buy extra bag of rice, buy extra here, because we are living in such uncertain times. And we already know that last year they moved the doomsday clock closer to doomsday, and we also know that that this could spiral out of control
very fast.
And I heard one person saying, "Does Iran have the right to respond?" Yes, Iran has the right to respond.
They were attacked.
Someone just killed all of your a couple of your scientists, your war planners that plan your commanders. It's going to get ugly.
And here's the thing:
it could get ugly.
Who's to say they don't have nuclear weapon capability now?
Who's to say they don't have it?
Because we don't know, because we're not monitoring them anymore.
That's what I said yesterday. I said they could have it already. And so this is something you guys need to keep your eyes on. We should keep our eyes on. We need to keep an ear to what's going on. When you have this is not a good thing at all.
And what makes it worse though is typically when you have the U.S., especially this administration, come on and they're talking about Israel, they're always saying, America stands with Israel. That's always a comment you hear from them. Marco Rubio always says it. Yesterday, they put out a statement saying that the U.S. had no idea about this attack. We weren't informed ahead of time. Not once did he say that, "Oh, we stand with Israel," which they always do. And then on top of it, that comment seemed very disingenuous, because if you remember, they had put out statements saying that they don't want them to do this ahead of them doing it. That means that they knew that this was coming.
Yeah.
And they were trying to tell them, don't do this.
Yeah. And it was not, and they didn't have and they didn't do the coordinating because they didn't trust the leadership to coordinate with. This is what happens when you have weak leadership. This is when you have a person like Trump in office.
He's not even weak. He's feckle. I mean, the man doesn't know what he's doing. He absolutely knows nothing. All he's concerned about is making money while he is in the White House. That's it. He doesn't care about anything else. All these other things that are going on are just distractions, and they're not even distractions that he's making. People around him are doing these things. He's just like, well, how can I bring more money? More money, more money. And I mean, the thing about it is, he'll never ever live long enough to see or to even use that money.
Yes.
So, like, what's the purpose of it? I literally feel nauseous when I talk about him sometimes.
I can't. And speaking of crazy. So again, I just wanted to just bring that to your attention. That was in the news. It happened last night. I did mention it yesterday. I said keep an eye on it. It happened. I had no idea it was going to happen overnight.
I think a lot of people saw it coming, and they weren't surprised when it happened overnight.
And my buddy calls me up and says, "Ron, I can't believe you." I said, "Look, I'm the news junkie. I mean, this is just what I do." But I don't do it as much as I used to, as in before November. But I still am abreast of what's going on in the world. I have to know. I am that type of person. Front man. And Janet says, thank you, Chris. He changes his mind minute to minute because he doesn't know he doesn't know where he is moment to moment.
Right. It's dementia setting in.
I think and a lot of people are saying he has dementia of some kind. Now, did y'all see Barbaric? I know I put this here, but Barbaric Ice Barbie, her meeting yesterday in LA.
Where they roughed up the senator?
They roughed up the senator.
All he did was ask a question. He didn't attack anybody. And then on top of it, he was in a federal building where you have to be screened before you get in. You can't just walk in off the street. And then this is his job. He was going there to listen and then ask questions. The man started to ask a question, and these men roughed him up, threw him to the ground, and put him in handcuffs. They did not detain him, and they did not arrest him. They did that all for show. These people are willing to do this to officials. As he actually said in an interview on, I think it was Lawrence O'Donnell, because I was listening to him this morning on my podcast. If they're willing to do this to elected officials, can you imagine what they're doing to people that work in restaurants out in the fields? What they're doing to people in California? They are doing this and getting away with this. He's arresting judges. He's arresting Congress people, pressing charges. Manhandling these people. Like, for what? He asked a question. It's crazy.
I sat there and said, if they will do that to a senator,
sitting senator,
we
not a chance in hell.
Have a chance if they're doing this to a senator, a congresswoman, a judge.
These are all tests to see if they can get away with it. Just like bringing in the troops into California and the Marines into California is a test. Because what he wants to do is to do this nationwide. Yeah, and if he can get it, thank God that these courts and these judges are saying no, because the judge in California said it was illegal. They are now in front of the Ninth Circuit Court, I believe, appealing it. And they do not actually. What time is it? The stay of the order is until 12 o'clock noon, I believe, California time. So they have a few hours. If they do not hold that stay as of noon California time, Governor Newsom takes control back of the National Guard and will remove
they had an appeal.
Right, but they have to. Okay. The courts have to have a decision before 12 o'clock today.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's something I wanted to just share this because wanted to just share this really quick with you all because I think we should hear from the person's mouth. And here we go.
I want to begin this video by just saying thank you to everybody who's reached out to me, to Angela, to my office, expressing your support because of what's happened today. It means the world to me. I certainly have heard your support and I feel your support. So thank you. For those who may not be aware, I was in the federal building in Los Angeles today for a scheduled briefing with representatives of Northern Command because of what's been happening in Los Angeles and Donald Trump's unacceptable escalation of tension here in Los Angeles as the Department of Homeland Security has continued to increase the cruelty and the extremism of their immigration enforcement operations. While I was waiting for the briefing, I learned that just down the hall from where I was, Secretary Noem from the Department of Homeland Security was having a press conference. Now, Secretary Noem and the department we have been calling on and we have been sending letters to since the beginning of the year requesting more information as to what and why they are doing with little to no response. And so I thought, let me go over there, listen in on the press conference. Maybe they're sharing some important information. And while I did that, escorted over there by a National Guardsman and an FBI agent, I just heard nothing but increasing political rhetoric. Not once, but on multiple occasions, they're claiming that, they're there in full force in Los Angeles because they need to rescue the people of Los Angeles from the governor and from the mayor. And I just couldn't accept the rhetoric anymore. So I had the audacity to try to ask a question. I introduced myself. Senator Alex Badia and I have a question, and it took all of maybe a second for multiple agents to forcibly remove me from the room, to pin me on the ground and handcuff me. Now, I'm okay. For people who are wondering how I'm doing, I'm okay. But the big lesson here is if they can do that to me, if they're willing to do that to me, a United States Senator, with a question, doing my job on behalf of the people of California and our country, what are they doing to a lot of the folks that are out there when the cameras are not on? Not the dangerous, violent criminals that they say they're targeting. I have no issue with that. But I'm talking about all the otherwise law-abiding, undocumented immigrants who are so key to our economy and so valued in our communities. I think of the farm workers out in Oxnard that a couple of days ago were subjects of the raids. I think of the people at car washes, the day laborers trying to earn a living to help provide for their families. I think of cooks and other restaurant workers, like my dad. For 40 years, this is how he put food on the table, but now they're being traumatized and terrorized because of the tactics of the Department of Homeland Security under the Trump administration. So we're going to continue our job of oversight and to hold Donald Trump accountable, because what we've seen here cannot be normalized. It is not normal, and we shouldn't act normal.
Can I say something to that? A comment that he made about how his father was worked in the restaurant for 40 years.
Yes.
For those that I constantly will keep putting it out there, listen to Lawrence Odell. He actually is very knowledgeable, and the facts he spits out is really, really good. So on the show last night, he talked about how, they were raiding farms in California and restaurants and hotels and removing the workers. Now they can't find people to fill those empty jobs now. Now, Trump actually said, oh, this is a very bad thing. These farmers have had these workers there for 20, 30 years, and now we can't find anyone. We're going to have to look into that and see how we can allow them to stay in the country. But this is your government doing this. You're doing these raids and rounding up all these people doing the jobs that no other American wants to do. And now that there's no one there to do them, there's going to be food shortages. You won't have the hospitality market is taking a nosedive. I mean, I remember when we were in Las Vegas earlier this year, it was kind of rough. The city was a little bit dead. I mean, people aren't traveling as much because of all this that's going on. And then also, day laborers and people that work in those fields are afraid to go to work because they're not sure they're going to be able to go back home. These people have kids. Kids are coming home and finding that both of their parents are no longer there.
Gone.
They're like orphans, within the day.
The insanity.
It's crazy that this is our country. You hear about this stuff happening in other countries, in foreign countries or third world countries. This is happening in the United States of America.
Man, it is. Governor Newsom was saying yesterday how they were working with a family where the 12-year-old, I think they said a 12-year-old, was it a 12-year-old, that the parents were both taken.
Yeah.
They don't even know where the parents are.
Yeah.
They don't even know where the parents are. It's one thing to be taken and say, okay, they're in downtown at the police department, or they're downtown here.
I mean, they're deporting 4-year-old kids that have cancer. How cruel is that?
They had to do a reversal on it because of all the protesting. But
how cruel is that?
4-year-old young lady.
And then a lot of these little kids too, now they have to go into court and represent themselves. A child representing themselves in court. I don't know. I don't even know where. And it's so the odd thing about it is, before my grandmother passed, my mom's mom, about 10 years ago. It hasn't been 10 years. 2018. She said to us, America is going to fall. And here we are falling.
I started saying that 15 years ago. because you can tell as you see the degrading of the society, it's no place to go but down. And but again, like when I'm in these conversations with folks, I said Trump is a symptom of America's reality, of who the people are in this country.
Yeah. Jazzy, I mean, says it perfectly. Like, it's kind of ironic. Trump is the one sitting there deporting all these people, but Trump's grandparents came to Ellis Island. Trump has, I believe, both of his wives or two of his wives are immigrants. Melania Trump is an immigrant.
All three of them. All three.
All three of them, yeah. Like, the insanity of it all. Like, you hate immigrants, but your family, you're of immigrant descent. And then your wives that you've married are immigrants. Make that make sense. Well, I understand, yes, they're white and they're immigrants. I know you have a hatred for people of color, which is obvious, but it's still crazy. America is built on the backs of immigrants.
But you bring that point up, but again, I do believe if someone correct me or not, that Hitler was part Jewish.
I believe so.
And who did he hate?
But you hate things in other people that you hate about yourself. Most times, it's always some type of self-loathing going on. And I mean, he's unhappy because his father didn't love him. His father didn't show him love. His family doesn't love him. So he hates everyone around him. I mean, it's so typical.
Yeah. Well, that is where we are. I think someone said something about, it was the FIFA. Okay, Jazzy said it. FIFA is supposed to be in the country, and people are afraid to come here because they are afraid they are going to get detained by ICE for no reason other than coming to see the FIFA. And
FIFA, yeah. There are rumors that FIFA is going to actually take away the games from the United States. So now, mind you, not all the games are going to be played here in the United States. They're going to be played, the majority of the games and the major games are in the United States, but they have games in Canada and in Mexico. So they're doing all of North America, basically, for FIFA next year. And people are saying, you know what? We're not sure about America, so maybe we need to rethink this and just move the games to Canada and Mexico. So do not be surprised next year when FIFA comes around. That's not being held here.
You know what?
And the amount of money that FIFA brings to a country a year is astounding. And that loss, America will never get that back.
No, I mean, I think it was FIFA that reshaped South Africa.
Yeah.
When they had
FIFA is worldwide. Soccer is the global sport. You know how, like, here in America, what we call football is our national sport between baseball and football, but really football. Soccer globally is recognized as the sport of the world.
I know when I was in South Africa, someone mentioned that to me. I said, well, how did you guys get the subway system? Because we have a subway system in Johannesburg, and they have a whole bus system. As soon as you get off at the airport, you can get it. It is so easy to travel in Cape Town and Johannesburg. And they said it was because of FIFA.
I don't even think that the Olympics has the amount of pull that FIFA has.
Yeah. So. Well, but before we go, there was one account. There was two accounts I wanted to share with you, and then we're gonna head on out of here. But let me share this with you all. This is I've been following this artist. I find it really cool, and maybe you will too. But I love art this way, and I love cartoon art for political reasons. And I'm not sure if you guys follow him, but I do. So check it out. This is Mike Lukovic, and you can go to his page and has 25.4K followers. But I mean, it's really good political cartoons, and you go through and every time there's something, he usually posts every week, So something that happens politically, and you will find it inside this page. If you're into politics and you want a little humor with your politics, and his art is so truthful.
Following now.
That is one of my favorites, Mike Lukovich. And so editorial cartoonist, AJC. He's from Atlanta, Georgia. And you can purchase signed prints and go to his page, which is, he has a website. Okay, and there's one more I want to share with you as well. And let me see, look at that. And it's this one. This is Tennessee Rick, an amazing photographer. And I learned of Tennessee through Gwendolyn. And I love his photography. I love the way he plays with shadows and light. And so here's
a movie
photographer, Tennessee Rick, and I'll take
you through
some of the portraits are beautiful, just beautiful, very.
I don't care what anyone says. There's just something about a black and white photo that can do it, and it will always stand the test of time. I don't care when you pull it out; it will always look good. Colors are susceptible to change a lot of times, but there's something about black and white because it's light or dark, and the grays in between. Like, that is a stunning photo.
Isn't this amazing?
Look how he's lit, like the shadows on his, like the lighting on his shoulder, on the side of his face, and you can, even in the shadows, you can see the details in the shadows.
I mean, this is not easy stuff. When you see people do this kind of work, because I think look at the shadow on his nose, how it falls evenly from his eyebrow down.
He has at least a minimum of 3 lights set up with this particular shot, maybe even 4. But it's just so good. Like, you see the separation. Wait, go back one, because people need to understand this. Like, even when you go back the other way. One more. Like, just being able to see the separation of his shoulder to the background, like, that is just like, chef's kiss.
Yeah, I love it. And then he goes into a lot of his detail. He'll share his stories about some of these his work. But like I said, it's absolutely beautiful. Look at that.
I feel like you can see a person's soul in a black and white photo that you don't see in a color one.
Black and white is for the soul, and color photos is for the aesthetics. Look at this.
Like, you can read so much into that photo. Like, you can see someone's personality and like it. I don't know. I've always loved a good black and white photo.
And
stunning.
And I mean, it's just beautiful. And then look who's in there.
Yes.
Look who's in there. Miss G is in there. Gwendolyn was photographed by the great Tennessee Rick.
There's something very democratizing about a black and white photo. It puts everyone on an even playing field, I feel. Whereas sometimes color can kind of pull certain things out of you. You can see like rich or poor in a way in a color photo that you don't necessarily get in a black and white. I mean, you can see in a black and white, but there's something that just kind of levels the playing field in a black and white photo.
So this is my photographer of the week.
Good stuff.
This is my the photographer of the week.
This gives me goosebumps.
Goes on and on. I mean, look at this.
That's beautiful.
I mean, just awesome work.
Personality.
Shout out to Tennessee Rick.
This is what you call picture porn.
Yes. When you can just hang out and look at some good photos. Because in all the craziness of the world, The beauty is that we have artists. The artists are so important to our mental health. Being able to drift away and just go through photos like that, it just calms your spirit, calms you down, makes you think about other stuff.
Well, the other thing too is they tell stories without ever saying a word.
Yeah. Beautiful stuff. I see here, Jay says, Jay says, and it was Ron when they had the World Cup there. Yes, sorry, my bad. Yes, it was also the World Cup. But they also, I think they do also had FIFA. I think they had FIFA as in South Africa. That's right. It was the World Cup. Definitely the World Cup. It's not about hate. It's about who I am. Control is power. Would not be surprised.
Oh wait, hold on. We have we have someone has a Focus Friday account. It's faith_with_n_e.
Okay.
You want to try to get that one in there?
Yes, if you can put that in there, and I'll put it up.
I can't because like
now
you're back in.
That's right, because now you're part of the system.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to do that really quick. Hold on a second.
It's
faith.
Yeah, faith_with_n_e.
Here we go. Faith.
The downside of being on the inside.
Yeah, that's right. Now you're on the inside, sir. Faith_. There we go. I got it. And this is Faith Turner. Okay, let me just share this with you. So here we go. Faith Turner. Check this out. I don't follow her, so I gotta check it out. It says believer in Christ on the cross, New York based, digital. Oh, in New York based. Digital faith based key artists, affirmations, melanin. Okay, let's go through. Let's check it out. Now this is art. Who Chris, who suggested this one?
That was, where is it? Cass did.
Oh, there was some Cass Lou?
Yeah.
Cassandra. I love this picture. I always love these kind of photos. I mean, not photos, but paintings.
Some really nice stuff in here.
This collection is a love letter to women who wear mini crowns. I like that concept. You see that, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
With the shoes? Sis, relax.
Just relax.
I like this.
So it looks like this one's a series because she has several ones that look like this in different poses and different iterations of it. So it almost kind of looks like a mixed medium where it's like it looks like there's a photograph with painting and maybe even something else added onto it too.
I love her concept of wearing two shoes.
Because women wear more than one shoe.
And they do many things. Commissions are open for June. Let's turn your vision into art. Okay. So I gotta definitely put the follow there. I have to put the follow.
I'm following.
Thank you, Kaz. I also want to meet her. I like her. I like what she's got going on here.
Well, she's local, you said, right? She's New York based?
She's right here from Brooklyn.
Oh. What if she lives around the corner from you?
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. I'm like, oh, I gotta meet her. Okay, I have to reach. I gotta find her. Are there any other ones in there, Chris?
No, that was the only one that I saw. Just double checking. No, I think that's the only one.
See, Jazzy, you're confusing me. I was like, FIFA. She said FIFA is the World Cup. I thought so. I was like, I thought so was the World Cup. FIFA is the World Cup.
Yeah, FIFA is just the organization that runs it.
Thank you. I was like, she got me confused. She had me confused, Jazzy. Black and white photos now show emotion. To me, way more than color photos. Absolutely. Black and white photos. Okay, guys, I think this is it. I think this is the end of our road for the weekend. I don't know. Tonight we haven't done game night this week, but we'll come back to game night on Sunday. And so our game night will be back on Sunday. I'll be now settled into my new home as it's been painted, and now I have to now stage it.
You have a week.
Elise says, "Is it digital art?" It doesn't look like it's digital art. It looks like it's mixed medium.
Yeah, so. It looks like there's photographs and some type of I don't know if it's oil or acrylic based paint, but it also looks like there's something else in it. Like, I'm not sure. It could be that it's part digital also. There might be an aspect of digital to it.
I know one thing. I'm going to find out. I'm going to reach out to her.
And he'll report back here next week, Friday.
That's right. I will reach out to her. You at the new spot, Ron. No, I'm still at home, but my home is like a new home because they painted it.
He's living in a world of white.
I'm living in a white house. I got rid of all the color. Yes, Elise says, yes, we do wear mini shoes. I love that concept. I really like that concept. I would go to the gallery to see her, like, her different, how she puts them together. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love good art. I love art that has a great message. And that one is so evident.
Yeah.
It's not hard to figure out.
Not at all.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today. And I hopefully don't get in trouble today. Today I have Instagram stuff. So I did not go to any other place to share. So I realized if I share from the website, it could get flagged. So I will continue to share from other platforms. Social media platforms. If you stay in the social media circle, then you're
okay.
Then we're safe. Okay, I think that's it, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Chris, thank you so much. It's so good to have you back.
It's good to be back.
And I can't wait to see your wall completed.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually, after I get off with you, I'm gonna actually finish putting up those panels, and then we'll work on the decor over the weekend, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm hanging I'm just hanging up photos today.
We're having our first guest over for dinner on Sunday. So I'm excited about that.
Nice. And I also mentioned that if the weather is cool for the 4th of July week, for the 4th of July day, I will invite people to come to the house.
Mm-hmm.
But it's based on the weather.
Because that should be fun.
The fireworks are going to be at the Brooklyn Bridge.
I'm praying for good weather.
And you can see the Brooklyn Bridge from my house.
And it's a Friday night too at that.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah.
So 4th of July. Oh, Elise says, I looked her up. She says digital.
Oh, interesting.
You know, Elise don't play. Elise is like, she's
our resident artist.
She is all about the art.
Yes.
She is all about the art. Okay, guys. The lead contractor just walked in the door.
All right.
I will see you guys later. Love y'all. Bye. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. I would love to hear from you. Thank you again. Until I see you next time,